What's going on YouTube? It is Texans Takeover back in another video. In today's video, we have another 7-round mock draft. I actually haven't done one in about 6 days, unless you include, the free agency simulators. I haven't done a true just 7-round mock draft where I'm only focusing on the draft. And, not knowing what we're doing in free agency, obviously, in the free agency simulators, I know what I did in free agency, so I kind of toned down in terms of what I need. So, for example, last video I went for Breece Hall, so, running back's kind of eliminated as a need here, but in this world, this is literally just going in with what the Texans have, and that is pick 28 to start off, and we're going to start this draft here. As we wait for our pick here at 28, Caden McDonald's still there at 28. That could be an interesting one that I haven't done yet. I think this could be a trade down spot a little bit if you'd like to go with that. I wouldn't be opposed. You can pick up another second if you move from 28 and you look to a Jets that have 2 second-round picks. No, they're not interested. Okay. You look to like a 32 with the Seahawks. Could you get this? No, they're not interested either. So it looks like we're sticking and picking here. And here at 28, I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with. I don't know. This is either I take a D lineman and then trade back up to try to get Monroe, Freeling, or Caleb Lomu, or I just take one of them right now and play the safe game, and then go for D lineman later in this draft. And what I'm thinking right now is go with a tackle, and I'm going to go with Monroe Freeling here. He was just mocked to us, and there goes Christian Miller and Caden McDonald, so that's not even an option. Pregnon goes there too. So there's that. But yeah, Monroe Freeling, great tackle. I think, although he played at left tackle for Georgia this year, he played at right tackle a little bit the last 2 seasons before this. And I think he could step into a role. One of the best pass blockers in this draft, and definitely has a very, very high ceiling. At 6'7", 315, he's going to be able to play true tackle, and I think he's going to find himself in the first round in this year's draft. So that's my pick there at 28. You could obviously argue for Caleb Loma. I don't know about the fit in Houston. Another very solid pass blocker, Christian Miller, could be a great pick as well. I really like him as a run defender. I posted about Monroe Freeling and Christian Miller both on my Twitter, and Emmanuel Pregnon on there as well. So if you want to go follow that, it's Texans_takeover. I'll link it down in the comment section of this video. I talked about who else? Dylan Tinman's on there. There's a lot of guys on there. I think I've gone through 8 so far, but plan to go on a lot more. Blake Miller was on there as well. And here at 38, sorry for getting off track. I think this could definitely be a little bit of a move down if you can get like 44. I'd like a fourth, something like this, and then you give up something like that. I would love this trade in my opinion. Take 44 or 45 and 80, and give up 38 and 128, and they do accept that. So there's that. Jennings Dunker does in fact go there, but this allows me at 45 to go with one of my favorite players in this class, and that is Dylan Tinman. I think Daniel Jeremiah had him in his top 25, and I completely agree. This is a guy that likes to flow downhill. This is a guy that can cover very well as well, has good instincts. There's a guy right there who's dominating the Senior Bowl right now in Lee Hunter, and definitely can play himself into the first round. But yeah, Dylan Tinman, really, really solid player, guy that I like a lot, and I think could be a very interesting fit here in Houston to pair alongside Kalen Bullock. Here at 59, I don't really see anything I like. I like the tight ends here at 69 and 70. I like the idea of Blake Miller later in the draft if you want to go 2 tackles, but nothing here right now. So I think you trade down, go get some depth. I do really like D'Angelo Pons' game. Don't get me wrong. I was hoping a Jake Golday would fall, but he doesn't. I like the idea of bringing in Josiah Trotter, and I might actually do that here instead of trading down. Just a player that I'm a big fan of, to be honest. Really, really good in the run game, and I think we could use that at that linebacker position, but he's also decent in coverage as well. I don't think that coverage grade is really fair. Just a really good tackler, really solid player, good athlete at the linebacker position, young, and Yeah, I would love to see him as a Texan. A guy that I will talk about as well on my Twitter. So, if you want draft updates and guys that I really do like and want to go in depth about, go check my Twitter. It will be there. But Josiah Trotter is going to be my pick there at number 59 as we move to 69, as Blake Miller just goes there at 68. A little bit unfortunate. Um, and that's going to lead me to trade down here for sure. I'm not even going to take any chances with this. We're going to look to trade to like 89, I think would work. You could probably pick up 3 picks, but I would like 3 earlier ones. 84 maybe. Eh, I don't. Not loving the options I see. Carolina's probably got the best package. Anyone got like 92 and 10 something? Seahawks really have no draft capital. Yeah, like this. I would like something like that, but I think it's more valuable to just get the Carolina pick. Unless you could take that from the Falcons, you could go with the Colts and pick up something like that. And I think that's my favorite so far. So I'm going to offer that. Obviously, they don't accept it because it's an in-division rival. And it's a 60% chance, and it's just not going to be okay. It is accepted at the end, and we'll see what the Colts do. They go Michael Trigg, which is an interesting pick there. Um, Here down at 78, we pretty much got 2 back-to-back picks. I'm gonna go with Jack Andrews here, a guy that at the tight end position that I think can block well, can receive well, just a jack of all trades at the tight end spot. And I think the Texans could definitely use that with the amount that they run 12 personnel. Just a very solid player. I think one of the better tight ends in this draft. You obviously got your top guy in Kenyon Sadiq, and then you got Eli Stowers going in the second there. But I'm not as high on him as other people are, to be honest. I do think there's a very solid tight end in there, but I like the idea of bringing Jack Andrews to this Texans team, and at 78, that's what I'm pulling the trigger on. Moving on to 80, this is another very underrated pick in my opinion. Um, Chase Basantis is here, and I think I'm pulling the trigger on that every single day of the week, twice on Thursdays, Fridays, every day of the week, actually. I'm pulling that trigger twice. Just a very, very solid player, very solid guard. Someone that I could see definitely go day 2. I think that's where he'll end up going. Maybe even late day 1 if there's, a great fit for him there. Just a very, very solid guard. Gonna be an impactful player for wherever he steps in at. Um, just a really really good player with a really refined technique, and that really shores up our offensive line, especially if we are able to get Cade Mays in free agency. That's the only really thing I'm going off of. I do like the idea of bringing in a Keelin Rutledge, um, but yeah, right now all that I'm going off of is that we do have a center in place with Cade Mays, so I'm not making that pick. Um, Anyways, here at 106 though, I think this is a trade down spot to like 130 ish. 132 with the Saints would be great if I can pick up both of those. And I can. Yeah, I'll just do this. I do like that deal quite a bit. Picking up 2 very solid picks there, and at 113, this is where I am going to pull the trigger on Mr. Keelan Rutledge. Absolutely dominating the Senior Bowl right now. I think would provide some really good depth for the Texans at guard. Graded out really well this season. Great in the pass game. Great in the run block game. You see his film from the Senior Bowl, and I bet a lot of people are going to be blown away. Just a really, really solid player in there, very physical. Kind of seems like a Texans defender on the offensive side of the ball, so that's why my pick is that at, what was that, 113? I think that's a great spot for him to go. I think he will go a lot higher than that, probably in the third round throughout the draft process. Here at 132, I think this is a no-brainer. I'm going with Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas. Um, Very solid producer, very big frame as a running back. You see 6'2", 228, averaged about 6.5 a carry, 8 touchdowns in there. Solid receiving threat. Good after contact, good in the zone and gap scheme. You can see the yards after contact is exceptional at 3.86 a clip. Just a tremendous running back. I think is going to have a very big impact on the NFL. Um, yeah, a guy that I really like was able to eclipse 1,000 yards in only 167 carries. So, the production's there in college if you really want to look at it. And I'm really excited when I watch Mike Washington Jr. I really like the tape, and I think he'd be a very good guy to bring in. So that is my pick there at 132. Here at 137, I think this could absolutely be a depth corner. Jalen Kilgore goes there to the Jaguars at 124. This is a guy that I really like picking. I just think you can do a lot of development with him at that corner spot, but he's not available. And I think I want to pick up two more picks. If I could give up 137, can I pick up like 151? Does anyone have two picks in the 150s? Or 148, 150 something? 186, 185, 182. Titans right here. Um, I'll give up this to get those two picks. So he moved down three spots, but then move up 23. So I think that's a great pick for what I want to do here. Tucker Tucker's actually having a very solid Senior Bowl too. Great pass rusher and actually has a decent frame there, with some long arms included. So maybe able to make an impact in the NFL. It's yet to be seen. But here at 140, um, I am going to go with a guy that I've talked about a lot throughout this draft process, and that is Mr. Tanner Koziol out of Houston. Just an incredible receiving threat at the tight end position. I don't think you can go wrong if you do draft him. Probably a guy that you're going to line up in the slot at the tight end position, but I don't think that really hinders how important he could be to a team at all. Just a playmaker at that tight end spot. And I think if you get injuries in Koziol, you're headed in next year. Very content with your tight end room, even when you lose Dalton Schultz after next, because I think you can go with injuries as your starter, Koziol as your backup, or vice versa if Koziol just really starts to show out as a blocker. But an incredible receiver at the tight end spot. I think the Texans could look to invest at two tight ends in this draft. And, now you're really looking at D line here or corner. And I think that D line's a little bit more important than corner to me. Logan Jones is having a great Senior Bowl too. That could definitely be someone the Texans consider if they don't get a running back in free agency. But on the D line, I've done this multiple times. I really like the idea of bringing in Cole Brevard, and I think he's probably the best D lineman left available, and that is the case. Can I pick up one? That's something I really like. I mean, yeah, obviously there's that. This is a 60% chance of going through. I'm going to try it, and it does go through. So I'm able to pick up 152, and Tacario Davis does go there. That's who I was looking at. But we are able to take Cole Brevard here at 152. And then we'll see what else is available at 160. Cole Brevard, just a really solid frame at the D-line position. I would have liked Demonte Capehart too. But I am beginning to really like Cole Brevard's game. I don't know if he's at the Senior Bowl. I didn't see his name on the roster as of yet. Definitely could be on there, and I just completely skipped over him. But very solid frame as a D lineman, just a very solid overall player. Good in the pass rush game, good in the run defense game. Pass rush run rate is actually very high for an interior defensive lineman. Had his best game against Ohio State, which is interesting actually. I would say he was very disruptive in the Michigan game as well, but maybe he's just good against the Big Ten or something. I don't really know. Here at 160, though, Miles Kittelman would have been a great pick if I did not go with two tight ends already. Same with Oscar Delp. I really like Oscar Delp's game. Jaden Kennedy could be an interesting pick on the boundary, just not the biggest. Cage Casey could be interesting. Robert Henry could be very interesting. Cole Wisniewski, I really like. And I think you could double up on tight end in this. Maybe you want to trade down again. I've moved around the board a ton in this, and I think you could probably pick up like a 185 and 192 for 160. No, what about a 191? You'd probably have to give up, yeah. 186 and 226. I mean, that would likely be accepted. If I can get this through, then I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I like that idea. And we move down a little bit to pick up some extra picks in this draft, as the guy that I really wanted has not gone yet, and that is Mr. Cole Wisniewski out of Texas Tech. A very physical safety, similar to Dylan Tinman, but I think Dylan Tinman's a little bit better as a true safety, while Wisniewski could be considered a linebacker. Just an in-the-box player, but flows around in the run game. Really solid in that run game. And I think could be a very decent player in the NFL. Whether or not you want to use him as a linebacker or a safety, that's yet to be considered. But if he's at linebacker, he's got great athleticism. If not, he's a very solid safety, all things considered. Nokobi is having a very decent Senior Bowl too. You can see a redshirt senior there. But really good run defender at the safety position, so that could be something you look at too. Here at 198, though, I am going to go with another D lineman, and that is Mr. Zane Durant out of Penn State. just a smaller D lineman, but really looks fast off the line. And another guy that looks great in the Senior Bowl. I've really liked what I've seen out of him in this first practice session. Um, Rayshon Benny just went there. That's someone that intrigues me as well. And we have two back-to-back picks at 243 and 244. With this first one, I'm gonna go with Athan Kaliak-Manis, I think, at QB, just to provide some depth there. I think the Texans could definitely use that. I really like the idea of bringing in Peyton Bowen. I think I might pull the trigger. No, I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Wright here. I think he could definitely climb up boards. He seemed like a lot of people are starting to see something in Jeremiah Wright there, especially throughout the Senior Bowl. A guy that I said was a sleeper on my board. I really like the idea of bringing in Jalen Wright. Caden McDonald over Monroe Freeling. Don't think he's a bigger need, but Monroe Freeling's a C plus. Tinman's a C. Trotter's a C plus, and then you got B, B, B minus, A minus, C, B plus, B minus, A minus, B minus, B plus. Overall, a B. I think this is one of my best drafts so far, to be honest, in terms of just addressing everything and rerunning through things if you feel they weren't addressed properly. Let me know what y'all think about this draft down in the comment section below. Again, one of my favorites overall, but um, yeah, I don't know how y'all view it. I think getting three guys that I think are potential first round talents in Basantis, Tinman, and Freeling really enhances my opinion on the draft. I really like Josiah Trotter too as an athlete, and then Jake Andrews as a tight end, and then Rutledge, as I talked about, just seems like a Texan. I don't know why. He's just got that feel to him. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this draft down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. We hit 350 subscribers, so thank you all so much for the support on the videos as of recent. I've had one that hit 2K, another one that hit 1,000. So yeah, thank you all so much for the support on these videos. It really does go a long way. If you do enjoy them, please be sure to stop by, say hi, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I respond to every single comment, so don't be shy. Even if it's criticism, I'm still going to reply to it. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, again, please consider those things that I just said. And as always, it's Texans Takeover, excuse me, and I'm out. Peace.